New information just coming in on yesterday's unspeakable tragedy.
During a lengthy news conference late this afternoon, they revealed the names of the sergeant and 2 detectives killed, all from Northern York County Regional Police. Our Seth Kaplan sat in on that news conference. There you see the names of the officers: Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenhauser. Let's turn to Seth now. Seth, are you there?
Yes, I am, Alicia and Dennis, and indeed, that was one of those new pieces of information that we learned. Other pieces of information, confirmation of things that had become apparent but were not yet official. Earlier today, for example, we learned that those officers were indeed all 3 officers here at Northern York Regional Police Department. As you said, they are Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenhauser. Those are the 3 officers who lost their lives at this home yesterday, which we, as you can see, got much closer to today. And boy, was it a chilling scene. I mean, you look down, and we're not going to show you this on TV, but there was a pool of dried blood. I mean, there was no doubt about what had happened there. At the press conference this afternoon, we learned that this all dates back about a month. A relationship that had gone bad, an ex-boyfriend and an ex-girlfriend. The young lady who was the ex-girlfriend lived in the home with her mother, police say. Her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old Matthew Ruth, had been coming by the house, kind of casing the house, essentially. By Tuesday night, the mother called police, concerned. Police came out. A process began of trying to locate the man. They put up drones. They were looking from the cornfields around there. Wednesday, back out there, sheriff's deputies first tried to serve a warrant. Then those Northern York police officers came back out. And those 3 officers who we talked about learned that the suspect was inside the home while the 2 women were somewhere else, safe. So they knocked on the door.
And upon immediately opening the door, the actor repeatedly fired at the officers with multiple rounds from an AR-15 styled rifle with a suppressor, immediately striking Detective Baker, striking Detective Sergeant Becker, striking at Detective Emmenhauser.
This law enforcement community needs us right now. These families need us. The police departments, York County and the Commonwealth needs everyone to respond with grace, with love, with support, and yes, prayer.
Attorney General Dave Sunday returning all too often this year to York County, where he was previously district attorney, for these kinds of press conferences. That's 4 officers now slain this year in this one mid-sized county in Pennsylvania, going back to Officer Andrew Duarte, who was killed at UPMC Memorial, also in York, back in February. At the scene, after his shots were fired, you had a situation where the officers who were in better shape, although one of them in critical, were struggling to help their fellow officers, while at the same time they had an assailant who they didn't realize then was necessarily fighting for his own life. So they described a scene of them trying to place handcuffs on an assailant while giving aid to their fellow officers while calling for help. And of course, that help came from beyond the county lines, and everybody just in shock here over something that, I mean, we use that word unprecedented, we throw it around, but there is literally no precedent for this. 3 officers all losing their lives in one event in the line of duty in central Pennsylvania.
Seth, just make a point about this. This started as a domestic situation. They seem to be planning to arrest him for stalking that young woman who lived in that home. So often these domestic situations are among the most violent.
Indeed, and that word domestic violence, it's almost, it's what we call it. We need terms for these things, and it's what we do call it, but it just sounds like such a benign word for things that occasionally end up this way, indeed. And all kinds of questions I should have. What they've provided now are just sort of the basic facts. We know who, what time these things happen. Questions about how prepared the officers could have possibly been. And to be clear, the folks here made clear that these were, first of all, they made clear that they don't even have to go any further to say this was what the officers did was justified. They said it was not only justified but necessary in DA Tim Barker's words. But in terms of how that one assailant managed to cause all the carnage he did, that's one of the things that we'll continue working to learn here in the coming days. But right now, it's really all about grief and mourning.
Hi, I'm Eric Finkenbinder from ABC 27. We're excited to announce the new ABC 27 News Plus app. Live stream newscasts or watch content on demand. This is different than the ABC 27 app on your smartphone. You can check this out at home, and it's very easy to use. With a Fire Stick, go to the home page, scroll down to search. From there, enter ABC 27. Move over to the apps, and there we are. Click the icon and install. It's just that easy.